meeting of the Show City Council to order. Show that all council members are present except for Councilman Adams has been excused. I've asked Councilman Hatch to lead us in prayer, and I'll lead us in the pledge. If you'd like to stand and join us, we'd appreciate it.
Our kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to live and work on this beautiful mountain. If it would be thy will, please bless us with the moisture that we need to avoid the summer fires. Please bless those among us that suffer with COVID and comfort those who have lost family members and friends. We ask a special blessing on those that serve this community as first responders and those others that provide services that are necessary to sustain this community. We say this in the name of the Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Appreciate that. Thank you, Councilman Hatch. Appreciate it. Welcome. Glad you can all join us tonight. Welcome everybody viewing City 58. Appreciate that. Next item on the agenda is call to the public. Any citizen desiring to speak on a matter that's within the jurisdiction of the city may do so at this time. Perfect. No one moving. Special events. We'd like to recognize the winners of the Kids Rock Poster Contest. Rachel, give us a little history about that.
Thank you, Mayor. The Kids Rock program, which stands for Kids Reach Out for Community Knowledge, is an educational outreach program to teach students about city government. The city clerk's office launched the program in spring of 2001 for third graders at the Shiloh School District. The program was designed to teach them about city government and what it means to be a good citizen. We provide the students with tours of different city facilities, including the wetlands, the airport, public works yard, police department, fire district, Shiloh TV, library, and recreation. Staff members from each of the facilities then explain to the students how each facility operates. Representatives from each city departments visit the students in the classroom as well to talk about their departments and what their job entails. We finish the school year with a pool party, and then we also sponsor a poster contest with prizes for the top 3 winners to allow the students to illustrate their idea of what community pride means to them. And so, if you'll present our winners.
Appreciate that. I can tell you, thank you, Councilman Hatch and Vice Mayor Travis. I appreciate that. I remember when we started this program, not when we started, I remember when I first started the program, we used to use a little table. And then I haven't done it in a few years. Other councilmen got involved and went this year, and we had a huge table. So participation was awesome. Huge table plus a counter. It was pretty nice. We appreciate that and appreciate the kids doing that. So we'll start out with third place. Brindley Whipple. And this is her drawing. We're keeping it so you don't get it back. We're going to hang it up. We want to hang it up at City Hall so everybody can see it, but we appreciate it. This is for you. And if you want to stay up here, we want to get a picture. We'll get your families and we'll get a picture, all 3 of you. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. But go ahead and stay up here if you don't mind.
You sit right up here if you want.
Second place, Mason Pershing. Did I say that right? And here's his drawing. There was a lot of good work, and you don't get yours back either. There you go. Good job, buddy. And I'll meet you somewhere outside later and show you how to take care of some of that. You want to just stay up here and we'll
Just set it down and
how do you say that last name?
let me get a picture of it. Oops.
And first place, Gemma Bag. Did I say that right? Congratulations. Appreciate your work.
Look at this big opening.
And definitely going to meet you somewhere. Look at all that candy and stuff.
Although he can't
You
throw
got
a
it?
frisbee.
Is that yes? She's on.
We'll give it back to you and you can have pictures taken with it.
But if you all want to stand in front of your stuff, and we'll have your parents come up here and take some pictures, just put it in front of you. Come up, stand in front of your baskets.
And
right
here's your certificate.
And then parents, if you want to come up and grab some
Stand
pictures,
right here by yours, right underneath.
hold your certificates up so we can see. Smile, yeah.
Mayor, I just wanted to point out, it was very nice when we did the pledge, and that little young man right there, Mason, I think you could hear him above everybody else.
Yes.
Yes.
Just belting it out.
Great job.
Thank you guys very much. We appreciate it.
Let me get those down to you. Can you get it?
There you go.
Oh,
Got it?
got it?
All righty.
Congratulations. We could have made it lighter. We
Welcome.
could have taken
Guys.
some.
Congratulations,
Could've
thank
made it
you.
lighter for it.
Next item on the agenda is presentation by Luis Alcatanor, somewhere like that. Alcator, for local semi-pro basketball organization, Mr. Brimhall. I bet you can introduce him better than that, I'm sure.
Luis Alcantar.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
There you go. So, as these gentlemen are walking up, just wanted to, Mayor Council, thank you for having us tonight. This is actually a pretty awesome deal. And about a year and a half ago, maybe a little bit more than that, back when the world was a bit different than it is now, these gentlemen came and talked with us a little bit about some plans to do some semi-professional baseball in Sholo. That caught our attention, and so we listened to them, and we've come to an agreement and have some plans to bring some semi-professional baseball teams to the area. And I'd like to turn the time over to them to give you a little presentation and some details about that.
Good evening. My name is Luis Alcantar, and the league we created is called the Northern Arizona League, and we're basically going to have baseball teams all of the Northern Arizona. We're having a team in Prescott, Payson, and Sholo this year. We couldn't get Flagstaff off the ground. Next year, we hope to have 6 to 8 teams. And basically, it's a summer collegiate all-star league is what it is, having Division I and Division II players come from different parts of the country. And it's very, high caliber baseball. If any of you have ever been to the Division I, Division II team sports, that's what we're bringing up here to the White Mountains. And the name of the team that we called Sholo is the White Mountain Hawks, being that there's over 50 hawks out here, different types of hawks. And we wanted something to unite the White Mountain. Instead of being just a Sholo team, we decided to go with the White Mountain Hawks. That way we can unite the entire White Mountain community. That way it would, I don't know, have something, cheer for and something to look up to. And I think it's also ideal for the kids to see high caliber athletes from different universities, Division I, Division II schools, that they can see, see their, kind of like a ladder of success, another step for them to go further up. The only team that did have a baseball program was in Flagstaff, and that got taken away. I think they got rid of that 15, 20 years ago. So in Northern Arizona, there really is no baseball or the big sports. Flagstaff does have some big teams with football and what have you. So other than that, I want to introduce you to Sias and Todd. And they'll tell a little bit about the baseball players and a little bit of their history.
How you doing? My name is Sias Alcantar. So I'll be the one that will be the director of the baseball operations. So that kind of entails recruiting the players and the coaches and having every aspect of the baseball part. A little of my background is I currently coach collegiate baseball right now. I played Division I baseball. I played professional baseball. So I kind of have a good network of connections for the baseball world. As far as like the athletes that are coming here, And it's an experience for them and as well as the community. I know myself, I played in a league that we're kind of trying to create here. And it just gives them the opportunity to come to a place they've never been and live in the community for the summer and have the professional experience of playing in a minor league type of atmosphere of what they're trying to get to as athletes. And the community get to see these athletes in their amateur years where they're pursuing that dream. And that's where I played in the Cape Cod, stayed with the family out there, and I've known them for 10 years now, and I visited them a couple times. So those are the kind of relationships that you build, I guess, doing this stuff. And for me, the passion of doing a summer collegiate league like this, it's an opportunity for the players to come here and get better. And the community itself, like Lewis said, the kids get to see these athletes, and not all of them go pro, but a good amount of them do. Like every college athlete, 95% aren't going to be professional athletes, but there is the few that are. But it's nice to see them in their field of growing and trying to become either a better collegiate player or working towards that pro career. As far as the player experience, some of the things I know that we're trying to get the community involved is the number one is the housing. So usually players come in the summer and the community houses the players. And number two is I know they get very involved in the community. When I was playing in the Cape, all the players had part-time summer jobs or whatever kind of jobs the community had for the players. And then number three is the camps. So we put on 2 summer camps where these players actually work the camps, and the kids in the area, they come to the camps and they get to interact. And my experience growing up and watching these players and being a part of it it's a lot more interactive than actual professional baseball and Major League Baseball, where these players see these guys as Major League players and they actually get to directly interact with them, either signing autographs or going to the camps and seeing their favorite player. So it's a very cool experience. We're hoping to bring that here to Shello this summer.
Thank you.
I don't have much to add on him. I've been with the Sias for the last 12 years doing baseball with them. So we have a lot of experience. But other than just the baseball side of things, it's everywhere we've been where there are teams that we're trying to build here is the community really gets behind the teams. They've all been smaller communities are some of the most fun places to go play. And the experience for the fans as well, going say in between innings, bringing kids out. I know I've seen a father, daughter, son race where they put them in a cart and run them around the bases in between innings, or they take all their shoes off, throw them off. You got to get them on and get a little prize. And there's all sorts of fun little things to do during the games that make it just an experience for not just the players, but the whole community, really. So
Sounds like fun, definitely. So quick question. So you said you're trying to bring this up here? What?
No, we already have that established.
Okay, because I seen the dates on here, and then I think you made a comment, we're going to try to bring this up here.
No.
So there's 2 different dates. Are they the same people at both dates, the camps, or how does that work?
those dates are just the camps. The schedule is still we're working out with the Parks Department for the field itself. And those would be just the youth camps. So
nice.
Each team that we bring in, each community that we come to, we bring in as well youth camps. So that are coached by the college players and the collegiate coaches as well.
Yeah, what happened is we had the 4th team in Flagstaff, but because of the COVID, it kind of fell through the cracks, and we don't have that team. So we had to reshuffle, some of the schedule to make up for that. But we, one of the things we all actually like doing too is we participate in a lot of the city events, like 4th of July parades, what have you. But because of the COVID, we just decided not to do any of that,
Sure.
And the season's very short this year as well, just because of the COVID. So, but no, we're already in operation. You can go on the website.
Councilman also.
Yeah, I got a question. I think this would be a great thing. If you ever been up here during the baseball season, stands are pretty much full for the high school kids and everything else. So just to reiterate on that, I know you're bringing teams up. Does any of the high school kids here maybe have an opportunity to try out, look at something? You guys look at them. Is it something that benefits the kids in Sholo, Pine Top, Lakeside, Springerville, all those type of places where you can look at them and see what kind of talent they have up here?
Yes, actually, this year we actually implemented that. We're in touch with 3 of the high school coaches. The thing is, they just gave us the green light like 3 weeks ago. And so I did talk to the Snowflake, Sholo, and what is it?
Pine Top, Lakeside?
Yeah, Blue Ridge.
Yeah.
I've talked to the 3 coaches, and we expressed that we would like to have at least 2-3 players from each team. And that's something that's going to be new that we've never done before. But I think that would also give it a little bit more local community involvement. And I think that'd be a fair thing. So we talked about that and we agreed we're going to do that. This is the first time we're doing that, though.
This year, 3 out of the local high schools up here made state and played in state. So there is some talent up here. I just, I like to see, I love baseball. I did it myself, but, just something to keep the kids interested in the baseball to keep that program going. Because it seems like once you're out of high school, there's nothing else for you to do unless you get a college offer or something like that. But, I'd like to see something where we can get the local kids involved in that and maybe even try to get them, playing some ball. You guys are the ones going to be making those decisions, but I think up here on the mountain, we have a lot of good talent too. So.
Yeah, 100%. We're actually going to be bringing some of the high school players. I can't tell you there's going to be 3 or 4 from each team, but definitely 2 or 3, but at the same time, they're going to be going straight from high school, playing against, Division I, Division II players. And so one of the things we decided to do was each team, we're going to have the same ratio. It won't be that each team has to have 6 or 7, but at least each team will have 5 to 8 players. That way it's, makes it a little bit more, even that this team is an advantage because they have all Division I and II, and this one has, 6 or 7 high school, fresh out of high school.
At least you'll be up here in 70 or 80 degree weather instead of 120 down in Phoenix. So that's great. We're glad to see you guys up here.
I'm hoping for 70, 80 degree weather on that day. It's
90
and some rain. Any other questions or comments? Councilman Wilson.
Welcome. I think it will be a neat thing, and I'm glad you're bringing it up here.
We passed out our information contact.
Yeah, we've got.
You can reach me directly or call Mr. J.
Is this your son then?
Number and your hotline. So we got.
Yeah, this is my direct number.
This is my uncle.
Oh, your uncle. Okay. Because I can't pronounce the last name, so I'm not going to try, but I think you both said it. I like how you said it, though. That was pretty fancy. Anyway, thank you guys very much for bringing that to our community. Hopefully we get it out on social media a little bit and get the town over to see some of this. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we want to ask the city if we can, get permission. I'll go through the process to put some banners up and then maybe get it on the Sholo TV, what have you.
Yeah, get with Jay and he'll make that happen. Appreciate it very much.
Sorry about the lateness in time, but everybody understands COVID.
That's okay. We understand. We barely got opened up here a few months ago, so okay, we get it. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Welcome to Sholo.
All righty, next item on the agenda is presentation of changes to the fiscal year 2022 city manager's recommended budget. Mr. Johnson.
Almost as exciting as baseball budget.
It is?
We both start with a B, right?
You're gonna have to bunt.
Budget or baseball?
Yeah. So tonight we have prepared changes to the manager's recommended budget we discussed a couple of weeks ago. And then we do have draft information that you'll see again in the tentative budgets. But the main purpose tonight is talk about the changes that we've made since we brought the recommended budget to the council. And here's the schedule. On May 18th tonight, we've got the recommended changes. After this meeting, staff will next bring to the council the tentative budget for adoption. Once that tentative budget's adopted, then we can change the budget. We can lower the budget, but we can't increase it at that point. So, and then the final budget on June 15th, and then the streetlight improvement district, the secondary tax rate for that on July the 20th. This is a chart you've seen a number of times. It shows our budget versus what we've actually spent. You'll see our changes with the recommended have gone up a little bit from when we presented it, up about 12 million from last year. And we'll get into the details of why that's gone up.
You know, Justin,
Yes.
that last slide, I wish people could have seen it up on the board there, but I totally thank each one of the staff and all the council for never spending more than what we budget. We never have in all the years. I mean, this only goes back to 17, but I think it goes way, way back that we have never spent our budget. So, you know, thank you very much for keeping an eye on that stuff. And I know you're not the only one that does it. And I know the one that helps you really keeps an eye on you. So
Right.
I appreciate that.
Yes. If you do look at the historical numbers going back further, you'll see similar trends to what you see here in this one. On our changes on the revenues now, just as an FYI, I know we have some new members on council. The revenues aren't governed by the state as much. They govern your expenditures, not your revenues. So when we talk about what the council is adopting, it's the expenditures, but we do provide a balanced budget. But here's the changes to the revenues. The modifications from our last presentation, we have 3.9 million. The bulk of that's in a couple of items. One of them is we increased our unanticipated in order to allow us to look at financing some debt for the streets and wastewater that we talked about last time. That's a big chunk of it. And then the other item is for the project at the airport, which is going to be 100% funded by the FAA. So those are the two largest components in that change. And then we do have listed for the council here our unbudgeted reserves, which are included, or the total there for all the reserves is listed below. And this is a further breakdown of the changes that to get you to that total. So our fund balance, we have changes at 4.8 there. Our operating revenue is 1.2 million. The other financing is the unanticipated. Just as a benchmark for the council for fiscal year 21 and all the prior years that I've been here, that number has been 4 million in unanticipated. When we first came to the council, we put it at 6, and then we've ended up bumping it to 9. So that's just money. That's just a placeholder in the budget. So if we do get grant revenues or other unplanned revenues, we do have the ability to expend those in that budget year. And then with the expenditures, which is what the council will be adopting when we adopt the tentative budget, it has gone up 8.6 million from 63.7 to 72.4. And we'll get into the details of that. What I will say before we get into this too much is every year we have capital carryovers. We have projects that don't get completed in the current year, so we have to push them to the next year. And that's what this is. And I'm not going to get into the details of every line item. We do have like 3 or 4 pages of information there. So I'll give the council a chance to look at those. And if you have any questions, you can get, just let me know and we'll try to cover that. This is continued there. We do have, like I said, a large number of carryovers. The other thing I will add with the carryovers is what we do is we take a snapshot of where we're at, say May the 5th, and I don't remember the exact date. It may have been April, but any project that's not completed, we take that full balance to completion and carry it over. So if we do end up finishing the project before June 30th, then these numbers will change. The project won't carry over if we actually complete it in the current fiscal year. No, that's a mouthful. Does anybody have any questions about this so far? And then the last slide, again, it's projects. Mostly there is some equipment that we're either waiting for grant funding for or maybe had lead times that we weren't able to get it in time before the fiscal year is completed. So the total of the 8.6 million for capital carryovers is 4.1. So that leaves us with about 4.5 million that we'll talk about with modifications. So for the modifications, these are items that in most cases were requested in budget by the departments, but weren't initially approved. So they're not necessarily new items from when we last spoke, but they're items that we didn't think we were going to be able to put in the budget, but based on the updated estimates for sales tax and other revenues, we felt like we could add them in. There are two or three main items that make up the bulk of this. Close to the middle of the page, you'll see the unanticipated expenditures that went from 6 to 9 million. So that's 3 million of the 4.5. There is an additional 500,000 near the top of the page under the police department personnel. 500,000 additional going to the PSPRS to make that total 2 million instead of 1.5. And then back down near the bottom, there's a taxiway A overlay. That's the airport project that the FAA said they would fund 100%. So that's been added in. It wasn't initially. It was in the CIP for fiscal year 23, but due to the notification from the FAA, we moved it into fiscal year 22 budget. Any questions on the items we've added? There's a second page with some more items. I tried to highlight the high dollar ones so we didn't have to get into all the details of them. The last thing I guess I would highlight is the very last line item, the insurance premiums. The city pays premiums to the risk pool for insurance coverage. And the last couple of years, based on the performance of the pool, they've offered a dividend or a rebate. So our normal annual premium is about $410,000. Last year, we got about half of that back as a credit. This year, we have $179,000 as a credit. So based on the performance of the entire group, there was a dividend or credit issue. So, and then just kind of wrapping up, we'll continue to monitor revenues and economic activity. We can still make changes after today up until the tentative is adopted. So like I said, with the projects, if we realize they're going to be completed, then they'll come off of the carryover list, which will reduce the total amount of the expenditures for the budget. And then after the tentative's adopted, we can't make any increases, just reductions when the final is adopted on June 15th. The last thing we cover, annually we get a CPI adjustment from Waste Management for our sanitation services. Currently, residents are paying $15.78 for one regular cart and one recycle cart. And then if they need an additional cart, they're paying additional $6.74 per cart. Waste Management has delivered the CPI changes to us this year. And with the CPI, they blend it with the fuel changes and come up with the calculation to determine how much the rates will be for the coming year. And this year, with the changes that we've talked about a couple of years in recycling and additional costs and the difficulties in placing the recycled materials, they requested an increase there. So if you combine the recycle, the regular CPI, and the fuel blend adjustment, it's going to be 14 cents for the regular cart and the recycle cart, going from $15.78 to $15.92. And then the additional cart will increase 29 cents, going from $6.74 to $7.03. Any questions on that?
You said that that's for fuel, or that's just because?
Yeah, fuel actually went down, the CPI went up. So they blend the fuel and the CPI together to come with a number. And then they had a request for extra for the recycle. So if you add all those together, that's where you come up with the 14-cent increase for the regular cart and the recycle.
And I got to tell you, I absolutely love recycling. I just wish we didn't have all the wins, because when they dump my recycle, I got to go back out there and pick it up. But and you can't really blame it on the drivers, the wind. But man, it's
Right.
It's an absolute. But I love recycling, so I don't think 14 cents is a problem. I think it's more of our wins, and we have to recycle after we recycle because we got to go pick it up.
Exactly.
But it is what it is. Any other questions or comments?
Just as a reference point too for the council, back in 2014, we were paying, in 2013, excuse me, we were paying $17.55 a month. So staff and council at the time, 2014, negotiated a very good rate. We're still paying less today than we were 7-8 years ago. So even with the increases in the...
But didn't that have a lot to do with a longer contract?
That was part of it. That was part of it. And then I think there were a large number of companies that showed up to the pre-bid.
Right.
And there were a couple that got real aggressive with their bids because of so many showed up, but only 2 bids were submitted.
Thank you.
That's all I have prepared for the council tonight. Any questions for me?
Clark.
Yeah, I have one question. I know that we're hopefully coming out of COVID right now. I know that the CDC just made mask recommendations for if you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear them. And, things are getting back to some semblance of normalcy. Governor Ducey's rescinded most of his executive orders. Have we done anything to thank our employees? Like, have we thought about doing a one-time payment to them? I know a lot of employees, especially at the government level, were labeled essential employees, and they went without taking vacations. They went without taking time off. A lot of people put a lot of time and heart and soul into making sure that the government was essential or was functioning, and that these essential workers continue to come. You hear a lot about people who were not willing to work during that time, and it's like, are we doing, or have we thought about a way to thank our city employees and our staff who saw us through COVID? And as there's that light on the end of the tunnel, maybe there might be an opportunity for that.
Yeah, so I guess probably not in those same terms. We've done a couple of things as COVID's gone on for our group. But I do believe that we have the flexibility within this budget to do something if that's what the council would like us to do.
I mean, I don't know if we can give bonuses. I think that's a question for Morgan, if it would violate the gift clause, but is there like a one-time pay increase that we could do or something? If that's, I don't know, it just seems like we've really benefited, I think, throughout COVID as far as our sales tax revenue and stuff like that. And it feels like the people who we really should thank is our employees for seeing us through it.
I think it's considered hazard pay.
Yeah.
And would qualify under the COVID.
So we can do one-time lump sum adjustments to the salary. And we did do something, Ed just reminded me, in July, which got all the employees in August. But if this council would like us to do additional, we'll certainly take a look at that.
I would at least like to look at it and see what it would cost.
And maybe we can even do like a gift card to some of our businesses and help them out as well.
Exactly. Something like that,
Gift cards can be a little tricky. That's one we would have to work with Morgan on, but we do have other avenues where we can recognize our employees. So we'll definitely take a look at that.
Well, Councilman Clark, something else we did is we handed out all the turkeys and everything else last year for Thanksgiving for that. So, I mean, I think City of Shoto, I had so many people say, I can't believe how much the city can give back to the people that pay the taxes. And that giving all the turkeys back and for Thanksgiving and doing meals for them and stuff like that, it was just it was unbelievable what we as a city could do for that and help them. So even with the employees, I mean, there's so many other companies, hospitals, phone, TV, all of them had essential workers out there doing something to keep us all where we're at right now. Keep us up and running and keep electricity on and water flowing. So. There's so many people that I think we need to say thank you to instead of just certain individuals. There's a lot of essential workers out there that need a pat on the back.
Yeah. We'll take a look at that.
Thanks, Justin. Thanks, Ed.
Any other questions for me?
Thank you, Justin. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie, for babysitting Justin, or vice versa. I don't know how you guys work. All righty, next item on the agenda is consent calendar. We'll proclaimed by the mayor, proclaiming May 26, 2020 as National Senior Health Fitness Day. Consideration of resolution number R 2021-05, rescinding resolution number R 2018-2028 and R 2021, and authorizing an intergovernmental agreement with Navajo County, and consideration of the minutes of the Show Low City Council meetings. Before I ask if anything needs to be removed, I'd like Morgan to discuss a little bit about item B.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor and Council. This one is with our IGA with Navajo County for the court clerk, the magistrate court. We had this agreement kind of worked out with the county, but they did make today, they sent us, even though our email was down, we did finally get a little email from them that said that they changed just one or two things in the agreement. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Instead of having to come back every year on the agreement, they're making it for 5 years, and they're putting in there what they call a cost of living adjustment, so we don't keep having to come back every year. So they'll just give a little cost of living adjustment if needed, but it can't be more than 3% in any year, and just making the agreement effective on July 1st. So I just wanted to point out those two changes were in the agreement before you voted on it. We just got that this morning, so I apologize.
You qualify for National Senior Health and Fitness Day, Mayor? Are you under?
Yes. Do I, Ally? Am I close?
If Rob can get me my AARP card, then you qualify.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Is it the hair or the no hair?
It's the
Which
goatee.
one?
It's the light part of the
All right,
goatee.
I entertain a motion to accept the consent calendar as presented.
I'll move.
Councilman Hatch, got a motion?
I'll
Got a
second it.
Councilman Clark, all those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Appreciate that. Rachel, would you like to, I almost forgot you. I didn't, though. I seen big red letters. Read the proclamation for me, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Proclamation, City of Show Low, Office of the Mayor and City Council. Whereas the President of the United States has designated May as Older Americans Month, and whereas it is appropriate to honor our mature citizens for their many contributions to the vitality and strength of our community, and whereas the United States Surgeon General has determined that regular physical activity results in significant health benefits and improved quality of life for older adults, and whereas all older adults can participate in activities that improve and maintain their health. Now, therefore, John Leach Jr., Mayor, on behalf of the Show Low City Council, does hereby claim May 26, 2021 as National Senior Health and Fitness Day in the City of Show Low, and urges all citizens in the community to support the efforts of local organizations that encourage older adults to enhance their lives through physical activities.
Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate that. Allie, before I present this to you, I just want to thank you personally for everything you do for our seniors in our community. I know you've helped out a lot with the senior center. I think you're kind of moving to other senior centers, we hope, and make it one organization where you can kind of oversee that. But I know working with NACOG sometimes isn't the most pleasant thing in the world that you can do, but you really do a lot, and you make my job, my other hat as NACOG chairman, definitely a lot easier, and I appreciate everything you do. But I'd like to present you with the certificate. Thank you, Allie.
Thanks, Ally.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Being the oldest one on the council.
All righty, moving right along. Next item on the agenda is new business, consideration of appointment of Aviation Advisory Committee members. Mrs. Hall.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. The terms of 3 Aviation Advisory Committee members, Thomas Cedarblade, Doug Riggins, and Dante Edwards, expired at the end of March. Per policy, staff advertised the vacancies and contacted the members to gauge their interest in reapplying, and 2 members, Thomas Cedarblade and Doug Riggins, submitted applications. In addition, staff received 5 applications from citizens. The applicants were interviewed by the council. Resolution number R 2017-04, approved by the council in February of 2017, outlines the requirements for the Aviation Advisory Committee. This resolution stipulates that all committee members must reside in Navajo County, with the majority living within the Show Low city limits. In addition, the council's preference, though not a requirement, is that at least 2 pilots serve on the committee. The chart below that was provided to the council shows the residency and pilot non-pilot status of the 7 applicants. Of the current committee members, Lewis Booker is a non-resident and a pilot, and Gary Winslow is a resident and a pilot. To maintain the committee's residency requirement, the council should appoint at least 2 residents from among the 7 applicants. Council members will mark 3 choices for individuals they wish to appoint. After we tally the results, we'll indicate the 3 individuals with the most votes. A formal motion may be made based on the results, and then the votes will be reflected in the minutes. If I can just remind council members to put their names on top of the ballots.
Great. How do you spell junior?
Come on, your pen when you're done.
We're doing different.
We do it on that.
Okay. Great.
I'm not doing it on this one.
Purple ballots.
Okay.
You brought your own?
Well, it was in our packet, so I thought we voted on it.
Rachel, I had a question.
Yes.
So we will mark 4?
No, you'll mark 3 applicants.
3, okay.
Yes.
That's right.
Nice to see all these people turn their names in for some of these committees. Tough decisions, a lot of good candidates. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brad, you got a joke or anything, or? Pretty quiet. Now's when we need that really good music.
Mm-hmm.
I just double checked my numbers. Okay, so we only need to do 1 vote this time. The 3 with the top votes are Thomas Cedarblade with 6 votes, Iron Bruceside with 6 votes, and then Roger Williams with 4. So if we could have a motion with those 3 names.
Make a motion.
Councilman Alsop made the motion. Any second?
I'll second it.
Councilman Wilson, second. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Thank you. Congratulations to Bruce Ironside, Mr. Cedarblade, and Mr. What would you say, Mr. Willis?
Williams.
Williams. Congratulations, and thank you for throwing your name in there. I know, like we've said all along, it's nice to see all these names out there, but there was a lot of nice candidates. We appreciate that very much. Thank you, Rachel. Appreciate it. Okay, next item on the agenda is consideration of award of construction contract for 2021 rehabilitation and rejuvenation of public roadway slurry seal of the city of Show Low, project number R 2021. Mr. Hemsall.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The 2021 Capital Improvements Program budget includes funding for rehabilitation and rejuvenation, or R&R we call it, of city roadways utilizing slurry seal. The city's current pavement preservation plan includes a minimum maintenance of crack filling, patching, and resurfacing every city street and parking lot every 6 years. City crews are currently crack filling and patching repairs for the areas identified for slurry sealing this year. Rehabilitation includes personnel, labor, equipment, materials required to place approximately 268,000 square yards of Type 2 polymer modified asphalt slurry seal on selected city streets, as well as replacing the pavement markings for the roadways after the slurry seal placement. The engineer's construction cost estimate for the work was $448,000. An invitation to bid was published as required, and sealed bids were opened publicly with the following results. American Pavement Preservation, $401,797.15. VSS International at $437,000 even. And Sutherland Asphalt at $717,700. Staff recommends awarding the 2021 R&R Slurry Seal Construction Contract, City of Shola Project R 2021, to American Pavement Preservation in that amount not to exceed that $401,797.15. The bid tabulation is included, and there are also a slew of slurry maps. The one with the 6 different colors is the overall city map showing what year we're doing, and we are doing green this year. I'm available for any questions.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I think you can pretty tell who's busy on this bid tabulation.
Yeah.
Somebody's really, really busy and doesn't need the work. Anyway, so we've got any questions or comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to award the construction contract for the 2021 rehabilitation and rejuvenation of public roadways, slurry seal, City of Shola, project number R 2021, to American Pavement Preservation in an amount not to exceed $401,797.15.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I got a motion. I'll go ahead and second. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Hang on one second. You got a question?
Yeah, I just, we have a picture of what's going on here. In the areas that are marked in green, are they going to be giving stuff out to the people to let them know when they can park there, when they can't park, and all this other stuff?
Yes, for one day out of every 6 years, we're going to have to take the road for a majority of the day. And they have to do 2-day notification door hangers. So they'll be tasked with putting a door hanger on, let them know what day they're doing it. And then there's also a phone number. We also require a phone number on that notification, so they get to call the superintendent of the job, find out where he's at and when he's going to get there. If you got an appointment, they'll try to work around it, or they'll tell you where to park so you can get out. And usually they pick off the streets in a way where you can just park around the corner in most situations. So yeah, they're on the hook to notify.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, I got a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Thank you. Good question, comment you made, because you think about parking on one side of the road or around the corner or not parking at all. So
Sometimes your neighbors don't like you to park in that parking lot.
Right. Next item on the agenda, summary of current events. Council members? Councilman Hatch.
Yes, I'd like to talk about the Farmers Market and Art Walk. Shola Main Street's weekly Saturday Farmers Market begins this upcoming Saturday, the 22nd of May, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Festival Marketplace. The market will run through September. The market will be delayed until afternoon on July the 3rd to accommodate the parade. And we're really looking forward to it, dry year that way. The other one that I want to mention is the Battle of Bands and Vans. We're pleased to announce that we are moving forward with this popular event this year. It will be held on September the 4th, which is a Saturday prior to Labor Day at Frontier Park. This event promises to be bigger and better than ever before. I know one of the drummers, and I think it's going to be a fine occurrence in the city. For more information, you can go to www.sholamainstreet.org. And
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I'd sure like to go to that, but unfortunately I have to go antelope hunting.
oh,
Councilman Alsop.
Thank you. Just want to talk attended a meeting for Meals on Wheels Senior Center, and just like the mayor and Allison was talking earlier, Allison is now one of the directors up there that's helping process everything and get things going. So Meals on Wheels and Senior Center has been revamping itself. We have new board members. We're also looking at new food ideas, new food programs, new different things for the seniors to do at the senior center. They're looking at hand and foot. They're looking for people who like to play hand and foot and cards and different things to do up there at the senior center. So if you're interested in doing any activities at the senior center, or in the Meals on Wheels food program, or even if you have a family member that needs the food program, please contact them. And the phone number is on our city council webpage and also on the Meals on Wheels webpage. So thank you.
Vice Mayor? I got a quick comment on a couple things that we attended. Myself and the Vice Mayor went to I believe it was a staff appreciation kind of day at the high school, and it was really cool. It was so nice to see. They had bands, they had vendors, the teachers and the staff. They set up tents and just enjoyed each other and did absolutely nothing but enjoyed the day. They had food, and it was really nice to see. Got Connie yelling, "Go Cougars!" Again, I haven't seen that in a long time, but it was really cool to go see that. And then today I got the privilege of traveling over to Springerville to give Rylan, I forget his last name. I can't remember his last name. Why don't I remember his last name? Anyway, he got promoted from 8th grade, and his parents invited me to come over there and give him his business license. And Rylan, there was a little article in the newspaper a couple of weeks ago about a 8th grader barbecuing, and we've been kind of mentoring him the last few years, and the kid's just got a great heart. Anyway, he's going to be out at their market place over in Springerville this weekend, Friday and Saturday. So if you're over in that area and you're hungry, go say hi to Rylan and his family. They're some awesome people, but it was really nice to hand him his business license today. Even though Sholo handing his Springerville business license, it was still really cool to watch him, and he was absolutely shocked. There was a few of us there, and we just went up on stage, and he was sitting in the audience. He goes, "Why are those people here?" We had some friends of ours from the Valley come up, so it was really cool, and it was all the barbecue family, but it was really nice to attend. Anyway, city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple items to talk about. The Project Clean Sweep's underway right now. That's a program that we started many years ago to help clean up the community. This week, last week and this week, you can dump green waste at Dirty Deeds Green Waste at Cinder Pit Road out by First Knoll for free. And that'll go through Saturday. Proof of residency or a utility bill with the Sholo residents will be required. Then bulky item pickup is June 7th through 11th. And that's when you put your items out on the curbside on your regularly scheduled trash day. And also on June 7th through 12th, Lone Pine Transfer Station will be open to any resident that wants to take any loads of trash out to the Lone Pine Transfer Station. That'll be free also. I just need to emphasize that proof of residency will be required, because when you pay your garbage bill on your utility bill, that's how it pays for these programs. Okay, the annual Men's Memorial Day Softball Tournament with games Saturday and Monday, May 29th and 31st will be Memorial Day weekend. That's next weekend. We understand that it's a full tournament. I believe 40 teams are signed up. They'll be playing both in Sholo and Pinetop Lakeside, and brings a lot of activity to our area. But they'll be playing the games starting at 7 a.m. in all the fields, and we'll be playing all day long on Saturday and Monday. And with this week being National Public Works Week, we want to recognize and thank our Public Works employees for the incredible job that they do. They take care of provide us with clean water. They take care of our efficient sewer system, maintain and build roads, and repair the roads. They remove snow and keep the ice off of the roads the best as they can. And we just want to commend them for their service this week. Thank you.
Thank you. Here. Mayor,
Seconds, Mayor.
Go ahead.
Actually, I wanted to say the shredathon. I actually attended the shredathon. I had tons of cases. It was so neat to go over. They were very good. They, took the boxes out. They let us watch it being shredded, and that was really cool. And the second thing I wanted to say is what an amazing community we have. I was out Saturday and I got a text message with a picture of my mom's little Yorkie that said, "Is this your dog?" And somebody, apparently she got out while we were moving some stuff, and she was a couple streets over. Somebody found her, posted it on Facebook, said, "This dog clearly looks like she's loved. We need to find her family." And one of my attorneys actually saw it and said, "A foo-foo dog by the high school's got to be yours." So it was nice that they even brought her home. And so
Well, I mean,
really nice.
go any further, you think about communities that take your trash for you. I mean, that's just amazing how we care about the clutter, and if people don't take advantage of that, I don't get it. So, Councilman Alsop.
Thank you. The one thing I forgot was this next week, the next 2 weeks is graduation at Shoto High School and everything else. So I want to congratulate all the seniors that made it through this year and still have their heads and their feet and their toes and their fingers, and the teachers are giving them some good grades. So hopefully they enjoy their life, and there are different things, different paths that they're going to be going down this after they graduate. So congratulations to all the seniors at Shoto High School.
Real quick comment, and then we'll be done, I promise. Today we were sitting there with a group of us, and I was talking to my wife in this group there was about 10 of us about, I'm not real efficient at spelling, and my wife is amazing. And I always make a joke out of it. I went to Shoto High School, and she looked at me, she goes, "Well, so did I, and I'm a spelling bee." And I said, "Well, maybe I didn't pay attention." But my wife used to miss words just so she didn't have to do that. But it is nice to see these kids graduate from high school for sure. I'm going to be there. I got invited to go attend that. So, schedule of meetings, I believe next week.
Next Tuesday, we have a joint meeting with 6 o'clock.
Anything else, Rachel? About that meeting, I think we're all going to be there, and I appreciate you guys doing that. If you have anything else that you want to put on that agenda, please contact Rachel as soon as possible. There's a few items on there to talk about. I don't know if you guys have seen the agenda, but I appreciate everybody attending that. When I met with Stephanie Irwin it's been probably about a month ago, we just picked a date because everybody knows how busy we all are. And we thought if we could get some of our council there, great. Portion of them, it ended up being all, and I'm not sure on their end, but it was pretty nice that we can all attend that tomorrow. All right, if there's no other business, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. I'll move. Councilman Alsop made the motion. Councilman Wilson, all those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Thank you, guys.